on, dudes? How you guys doing? I am TheeRealDuke, and welcome to this episode of my Minecraft Survival Multiplayer Let's Play series. I hope you guys are doing alright. I am doing okay. We are here at my new project, currently unnamed. You know, that would be good. Can you guys, what should I call this? I have no idea what to call this. You guys, give me some ideas. What you guys think I should call this? You can notice now. I've got a lot done. I've gotten quite a bit done since the last episode. The roof, for one. Also, this jazz down here. When I didn't do it all over, so I can actually fly around and show you guys. Let me change my speed here so we can zip around a little bit. So on this side, for example, you can see it just goes straight down to the ground. I thought that looked a little weak sauce. So I added just a little bit of that jazz down there. I think it looks good. Still need to figure out some supports for under this here, because this, you can't just do that. You know, that like it sticks out, and I like the way it does, and it should, and that's good. But yeah, weird. So chimneys at every corner. I don't know why I have my sword equipped. I added some I guess, I don't know what to call these, more windows around the sides, kind of cap those off. I have my little filigrees on the top, looking kind of zazzy on the roof side, but the walls are kind of looking boring. One thing I thought of that I could mix in here that would look pretty decent is hardened clay. Is a very similar color to the brick. Not sure how to do that though. Maybe red clay? I don't know. But that is a thought that entered my mind. Today, I want to work on a couple things. First, I want to finish off the ceiling in here. Now, I want to keep this open, and I want to kind of reference the design of those arches that are in there. So, well, not keep it open, but keep it transparent, keep everything visible. So, one of the things I'd like to work in with this style of build is glass domes. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get some kind of glass dome type thing to happen here. You can see I already built up a frame for it. So I'd like to finish this off, which shouldn't take too long. Zip up a couple extra little supports in there, and then come back in here and start working on the inside. There's a lot to do on the inside here. So the basic plan is this whole mess with the chickenizer over there and that stuff, that's got to be going. Oh, special shout out to Kissy. All these clay blocks, thank you, girl, you're the best, to help the cause. But yeah, so I mean, I still gotta get rid of that jazz and that stuff over there. But the idea is to have the sorter in the middle where it is, and then floors that are essentially balconies, kind of going around, like running around the perimeter with just other chests for more bulk storage, or not bulk storage, actually this would be better for bulk storage, but for like ender pearls or something. Like I don't need to build a sorter thing for, you know, slot for the ender pearls or something like that, just for more minor things, little bits and pieces type stuff. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get on this. I wanted there to be a little bit of a kind of a rounded dome shape to this, but also if you were walking up here where there's no floor yet, I want you to be able to see the other side. So that's how I came up with this height. I'm just gonna actually zip down here, grab some glass, not look at that guy, because yike. Probably just fill this up because it's gonna be a lot of glass. This is the basic arch shape. I'm going to come back in like I did here and fill in with slabs and stairs where appropriate. But for right now, I'm pretty much just going to be doing like this kind of thing. Just a lot of this. A lot of block punching, placing like this. So I think that's going to be good. I'm going to figure out where the support should go in the middle here, round off this end over here, and then get to glass block lane, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I turned up the brightness a little bit so you guys could see a little bit better what we're working with what we are working. Sorry, everybody. Okay. I decided to round off these edges here because I decided to round off these edges, and no, I think it looks good. I also decided that it might look good if over the bands that I have here, these kind of support things that I have built in, it might look good if I just actually use the blocks that I'm using now, these smooth stone slabs, just to kind of go over the top of them, and they won't have the same smoothing effect that they might otherwise have, but I kind of enjoy the, I think, overall look. So it's still a little bit blockier than maybe the supports underneath are, but, and I'll do this on the underside too, but they're just, it kind of raises them up a little bit, raises that height up over the glass right here. So I think that makes it look a little bit more structural. So I'm gonna keep going with that. I think that looks good. And then I'm gonna do the underside. Then we'll finish it up, and I will hop down inside and we'll take a look up, which is where this looks the freaking coolest. I'm telling you, man, this looks sick. It looks so good. Oh my god, it's so good. So I'm gonna go take care of that, and then I'll bring you guys back in. So here is an aerial view as the sun is rising in this new thing. Still, guys, help me out. I need a name. Needs a name. Sun's rising. Here's what it looks like from above. So sweet. I really like how the roof came out. Let's hop inside quickly. So I can show you guys what this is like in here. I think it looks like a it's a warehouse, and it looks like a warehouse to me. So I think mission complete. I think we also need to add these little zazzy filigrees on the top here, across the top. We also need to have some lighting up there, because I think it looks a little boring, but we'll wait to see how this plays out in here, because there might be lights above up top here or something. So first things first, I'm gonna go gather some materials, but I mean, just this view from in here, this spacious kind of, and it's really nice and bright in here because the open glass ceiling. I'm loving that. I love it. So I need to go gather materials, which I do not have yet. First floor is going to have to start here on this level until maybe we get to here. Maybe like right here we can have like a lower level, but it's only across the very bottom, and it stops on this wall. Just because if we ran the floor from here, like by the time we got to here, we would not be able to walk anymore, because it would just kind of crush us. So, and then I also want to do arches here. So we have those to figure out, but again, I need some supplies. I got to do a little bit of grinding to get those supplies. I'm gonna grab those supplies. We're gonna work out these arches, make them interesting, and we'll get to. I'll try and see if I can put together my idea for you guys for the floors in a sensible way. Because in my head, it's crystal. Trying to explain it and show it to people without it being fully done first is a challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather that stuff, and we'll execute that plan post haste. Okay. So almost done. I'll show you what I decided to do. That wasn't it. There we go. Okay, so and this one. I don't think I did yet. There we go. Okay, so from down here, here's what it looks like. Boom. So there are those kind of arches, right? And on this side. I know that they're all one kind of block, so I need to jump back in there and change up those blocks to make them, look a little bit more interesting. But what I'm waiting on is when these floors start going in, because I'm gonna actually mix in, because it's a little. There's only two colors really. There's grays and the brick red, so I'm gonna add in a little bit of variation with some spruce logs. I think it's going to be good, and that's the spruce logs I'm going to use to frame out the floors. So for example, this one is going to come out, and I don't have anything protruding this way for this floor, so that's something I'll have to work on too. I have no idea what I'm going to do for that. But let's say this just comes right to this edge here. Wow, I'll just place blocks poorly all over the place, and then having, you know, then I'll have to waste time going back and mining them anyway. So in this fashion, right? And then I'm actually going to, you know what, I have an idea. What if, you know, I'm going to go try this idea, and then I'm bringing you guys back so you don't see me just that's sitting there bored while I'm screwing around here. I'll be right back. Okay, so here, this is like the second floor, or the second balcony. And the first balcony, I guess the bottommost one is down there, which is actually, I decided to stop it at this pillar. This is the general sense of the type of thing that I want to try and do here. But a couple of things are becoming evident to me as I'm doing this, right? Number one, the chat is still on. So let me zip. There we go. Number one. Number two, I have no supports here. This is just a really, really long span with a really, really long log, I guess. So that ain't cutting it. And number three, these arches here, which I think are very important to this design, don't make any sense, because I installed them. How do I explain this? I installed them before I came up with what the actual building would look like. Whoops. Let's try that J again. There we go. And they don't line up with any of the architecture whatsoever. They're just kind of arbitrarily placed there, so they don't make sense. So from the outside it looks good. Oh, and while we're out here, let me just zip by up top here. You can see I added the little filigrees up top there. Not that it makes a huge difference, but anyway. So what that means is I'm gonna have to move these. They don't make sense, and it's gonna be such a huge pain to rip these out and move them. But they're, let's see, they're on this one. So like this stone brick here, slab 1, 2, 3, they're every 4, and they need to be every 3. If they were every 3, then they would have an odd number of blocks in between them. Instead, they have an even number, which everything else has an odd number of blocks in the middle. So that screws that up royal-tastically. So next step, tear these down, move them, build these hook-type jobbies again. That's going to be a bummer, but it's got to be done, so I'm going to do that. Oh god, these are going to have to be moved. Oh jeez, what is this is going to suck. Alright, I'm going to go get on that. Okay. Oh man, I got 32 levels. I need to get working here. So, enchanting rather. So, okay, so I did some stuff. You can see I zazzed up these dudes a little bit. I put some cool support beams under there. I couldn't decide on if the beam should carry all the way through. If they did, they would have made sense with the inside. I think it looks okay like this. If you think I should carry them through, let me know. I busted a hole right here in this, in the middle here, and that's where the entrance is going to be. It's basically going to be whatever you want to call this thing. That little roof type structure, and it's just going to be like a little thing right there. A couple of double doors, maybe like double doors, pillar, double doors. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be down there. I want it to fit with the rest of the style. I still didn't finish carrying this design thing around, but when that's done, it's going to really change the outside, and it's going to look good. So here's the main entrance. Pick those bricks up, and I will show you what I got done in here. So on this end, there were no arches and no main supports, and there was just this huge load. And I have, as you can see, all of these log beams everywhere, which I think look good. This is going to be closed off up here, and there's going to be supports coming off of the beams to help support the roof, and also from these arches kind of going up in column form. But there's nothing up front here, and I was like, I'm going to break up the beam kind of game a little bit here, and I'm going to draw some of the brick in from outside. So they're kind of, it's not a straight beam, it's kind of cross-shaped, plus-shaped in cross-section until it gets to the, what will be the second floor. And then it narrows because the load it carries decreases. And then it kind of comes up to this top beam here, and then it's just going to connect up there. I put these cool little dazzles on the sides here to show where just the beams lock into the brick. I'm going to put these little designs around on all the edges also, and buttons, little buttons everywhere. But yeah, let me show you these arches too. So these took forever, and I hate them. I don't hate them, but I did when I was doing it. Let me tell you, it was such a pain, and I still haven't finished adjusting where all the hoppers and stuff are, and to make sure, because I had to break a bunch, like here. I didn't do it on purpose, but I broke through and I didn't replace that stuff. So there's some work that still needs to happen there. But basically, what I went with was, at the bottom, the old pillars were 2 blocks wide, and I went with a 3-block wide one, which looked, it looked right in that I guess how gradual the thickness kind of progressed from the bottom, like that curvature looked good, but it just was too massive. So I poked a hole, put some stairs in, made that little design type thing, and then I carried that up a little bit too, just to add a little zazz. More holes there and there and there. I just think they were really cool design elements. And then they started at 3 blocks wide, and they went to 2 blocks wide in the middle, but they just looked too massive, and they blocked too much of the surrounding area. So if I was standing here before, all you would see is gray. But now you can see parts of the brick and floors kind of poking through, which is pretty good. I like the way this looks much more. So that's what we went with. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's definitely coming together. I have spruce slabs throughout here where I need them to cut or control interference of redstone signals and stuff like that. And those need to be swapped out for stone brick or for the smooth stone half slabs, but we'll get to that. We'll get to it. It's a work in progress. WIP, it's a whip. I also need to do 2 other main things. I have some fencing around, and I think it looks okay. I think it's a little too high, but I don't think it obstructs too much. I like the vibe that I have set up in here. I especially like the skylight and seeing the light kind of coming down into the middle area. I think it looks cool. But, ooh, missed this little spot here and here. So I have to finish doing this. I have to put all the chests in. But I also have, and I don't have any way to get up there. There's no stairs anywhere, so I need to figure out a place to put stairs or figure out some mode of transportation. Now, normally I would just /J or jump or fly up someplace or parkour my way onto a particular level, except that with the fences here, I can't actually do that. It's blocked, but the level height is staying the way it is. I'm not going to adjust that. Anyway, this was a mess to get done. I should have planned it better from the beginning. Let that be a lesson to me and to you dudes. Plan. Saves you a lot of work. I must have wasted 3 hours readjusting these things. It's just, I don't have that kind of time. I do not have that kind of time. I think the effect is good. I don't think it was 3 hours worth of work good. So if I could have avoided that, that would have been great. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you dudes so much for taking a second and check this out. I do genuinely appreciate it. We have lots of cool stuff coming up on the InfiniteHeights Minecraft server. I have a new build showcase series that's out. Definitely check that out. That series is tied in with events going on the server. If you want to be a part of that series or the events on the server, check us out at play.ih-mc.com. That's where we be. So anyway, thanks again, dudes. I do genuinely appreciate every single like, comment, view, and sub. I will catch you guys next time. That's it for me, TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.